Boom.
Welcome to Tribe.
The least likely person to ever be in a devoted relationship and committed is me. Somehow I learned something and it happened, and then me and my wife created all of this. The least likely person to ever have a green thumb is definitely me. Even more than the least likely person to be in a devoted and committed relationship. I don't know why. People would give me plants and I couldn't make, they would die every time. And so out of frustration, I came and I started with a little bitty plant. It was like tiny, and it was like a little bamboo stock that I got from Lowe's. And I was just like, all right, I know I could take care of this one. You just gotta fill the water up in this right here. There's something about this plant. What I didn't know is that plants have a brain, and it's called the root ball. So whenever you pull a plant out of a pot that you get from like HEB, the plastic pot, that ball that it's in is the roots go into that ball, and you can tell if the roots are spiraling like that. The roots are telling you, I need bigger space. And if you don't give me bigger space, I'm gonna do one or two things. Growth is gonna be stunted, or I'm gonna die. Every plant in there doubled in size once I started taking care of it. Because as I was watering, as I was removing all of the brown leaves that didn't belong, every time I removed something that didn't belong, it created oxygen for the entire tree, for the new growth that was waiting to come through. Then all of a sudden, like 4 more leaves would come once I pulled the dead thing out. This is like my life. I'm like, I got people in my life that I'm just tolerating, that's sucking my soul dry. And then I just get them out of my life, and then somehow 2 new high vibrational new friends would come into my life. What kind of order did God create that every time I remove something I know does not belong in my life, something else that I want in my life takes the spot? This plant, everything was taken care of, but I didn't understand why these palms were dying. When the roots are exposed, they're telling you, I need a wider capacity, and I need to be in darkness. I need to be in darkness. Darkness isn't bad, you just don't know what the fuck to do with it. But the soil, like this plant, if the roots were up here, dead, gone. So all of these roots are exposed, so there's no mycelium network up here. It's all underneath the ground. If I would have known at the time the fundamentals of capacity in regards to plants, I would have never potted it in this thing. And so with this plant, how I wanted to start Tribemind is to show you that all of this has died. This is complete. You see how easy it moves? How this can just come out? It just comes out. This was once alive, and the only reason why this just easily came out like that because this whole vine was connected to these exposed roots. So people's business can die. People's marriage can die. Their connection with their children can die because you don't have the capacity. You don't have the emotional capacity, the spiritual capacity, the physical capacity to be able to hold for that, because you might be operating in an old paradigm. So this was actually me. But as you can see, there is green right here. And anywhere there is green, there is life. So I still had little life. What I had to do is remove what was dead. What was dead in my friendships, what was dead in people that I tolerated, what was dead inside of my own way of thinking about myself and approaching life and approaching business and approaching. If I don't remove what's dead on this plant, the dominating factor is it's mainly dead. That's ultimately what would happen if these roots continue to be exposed inside of this small container. So if you want to grow any kind of business, whether you have $1 million business and you want to go to 8 figures, or if you have a broken dollar business and you want to grow to, I'm just trying to fucking survive, your capacity has to, and I'm gonna speak into has to, change. If there's something you gotta do different. So I don't know, a different outfit, change your panties, change your underwear. I'm telling you.
It's not negotiable. Please change your panties.
Like, I mean, but there's a something. And the only way that I've learned is I take whatever I'm doing in my life and I audit. How do I wake up? What am I eating? Who am I hanging out with? How am I showing up on calls? How much am I doubting myself? Do I have any insecurities? Is there somebody I need to forgive? Yeah, we can talk about business all day long, but I coach some of the most powerful business minds in the world on shit they could have done 20 years ago, and that's why they're snorting cocaine and doing all this other stuff, because at the point of building, they never learned how to take their lifestyle with them. Before we talk about anything that has to do with creating any aspect of business, we're gonna talk about the frame of thinking, the frame of approach, how you wake up, how you go to sleep, what you're eating, what you're listening to, who you hang out with. If you're not willing to change that to have something you've never had before, you actually don't deserve the next level. You actually don't deserve it. You gotta earn the next level. That's why I'd be like, I should be in 5th grade without passing these tests. Good luck with that one. When you earn it, you actually never say you should be, because you'll already be there. So I want you to think about your life, this journey called where you are at now and where you want to go. It's like, I want to do this, but I'm gonna stay attached to this attitude. I want to go to this place I've never been to before, but I don't want to leave my comfort zone, you know, my snacks on the weekend. And you might think that your snacks on the weekend or the glass of wine from here to there is a small thing. Nothing is a small thing. That would be like the acorn is a small thing, but the acorn contains the magic that turns into a giant oak tree that can live forever. So if you look at a small thing as a small thing, you're slightly mistaken. We all know. We all know. It's like, I probably shouldn't be doing this. I probably shouldn't be cheating, or I probably shouldn't be hanging out with this person. We all know. Whether you like to psych yourself out or not, or paint it a different way, we all know.
Identify the thing that is your dead weight, your primary intention of the dead weight that you are cutting, that's going to support your business, your life, to be the kind of life that you love. So take 30 seconds, tune into your heart. What is that thing that if you trimmed this thing, everything would exponentially quantum leap in your life for a life that you actually love, a mission you actually love?
I've been allowing my godchildren to call me in the morning and dump their problem for solutions, and I need to train them to have a 2-minute limit and find their own solutions, because they're sucking the life out of me first thing in the morning. Bye-bye.
I am getting rid of my dead weight of doom scrolling and comparing myself to the masses.
I am letting go of relationships that don't serve me anymore and staying in that same pattern.
Junk food that I eat in between my detox programs, especially sweets and junk food. And my second one I want to get rid of is my fear of sharing more about my life online and unwillingness to plan for content creation.
I know my why really well, but I have serious doubts and insecurities about my ability to create a business that I'm willing to learn.
Letting go and releasing any left ounce of resentment or bitterness that I may be holding to anyone on this planet that is preventing me from showing up with an open heart.
I'm letting go of any anxiety that I have about my chest and my voice.
There it is, there it is, there it is, rip it.
I'm letting go of serving people to serve the mission.
So easy!
I'm letting go of making myself small in order to make other people comfortable and dimming my light.
I'm gonna let go of worry for my children.
Yeah!
I am letting go of procrastination.
I am letting go of any shred of self-doubt that I'm not good enough, that I'm ugly. I'm letting go of not using my voice when my voice is powerful.
Yes, sir.
I'm letting go of living in places and spending time with people who I allow to keep me small.
The dead vine that represents all the stuff. You're like, this doesn't actually make sense for the next level of where I'm going. So especially when you're aware, like, this isn't serving me. Okay, so what part of you is tolerating something that you know doesn't serve you? Why don't we all just remove the vine that's feeding all those things together and like have this little life just showing?
Just notice, like, the thing that keeps most people from being successful is that they don't want to look smaller. Like, they don't want to start smaller, they don't want to look smaller, but that has a lot more life than the dead tree. That dead tree is going to make that thing die. But most, yeah, it's fake. And so it just is really beautiful and powerful to see this like very healthy thing of life, but also recognize that most of the people that you see on social media are all of these people have all this dead weight and it's not real. And so really being attuned to like what's real and letting that drive you instead of it being all the illusion outside.
Just get rid of the dead weight. For me, I've been waiting, but instead of just keep going at it, you'll get rid of it long before the saw comes.
We're looking at the palm tree that's like this, but the reality is as it grows, we get the clarity for the next step of what the plant needs, and then as it grows again, you get the clarity for the next step of what the plant needs. You'll never have the clarity of how to get to the big picture until you've done the steps that keep taking you there.
It's to be in the right environment. So that's why you can have championship elite athletes, you put them all on the same team, they're like, well, why do they keep losing when all of them are the best in their field? Because they didn't have the right type of atmosphere, the right type of coaching, the right type of guidance to get them to all work together.
What are the non-negotiables in your life? Like, what's the environment that you're planting it in that will actually serve the life that you are divinely guided to live and serve? There's non-negotiables in that. So the people that you surround yourself in, the soil and how you nourish it, but like the time that you spend in it. What is the life, the actual life that you would love this to serve, and build your mission around that. Because if you miss any one of those parts, you end up building a prison. Build the business that you would love as you would love it to be. And that means sometimes, like, if you know you're not in your gift, these are not your gifts, then you need to be leading through it to develop someone to take this role, to then you not be the bottleneck of your own business, of your own mission. I must build this as I love it.
In the new pot, you gotta water it just enough to get in there in the new pot and say, I gave you a new home.
Heavier, right?
Yeah. Giving you what you need.